What's going on, guys? Kaiga here. Today I'm doing a Spender's Guide. We're also going to go over all the events that pop up in the game to give you a quick breakdown. Maybe you're newer, or maybe events have come out since I've talked about them, as well as telling you the best offers for each version of the game and what it costs for mount wheel, things like that. Let's get into it.
반드시 돌아오게 하겠어. 더 이상 하수인만으로 남지 않아. 이제부턴 나를 위하여 오로지 나만 깨어있을 뿐. 멈춰! 모두들 절대 후회? 네가 누구랑 얘기하는 줄은 아는 거야?
Alright guys, it's going to be slightly different depending on your region. It would take a lot longer to go over each individual region for this part, but why are we spending? What is the main thing that we're looking at? So we have recharge right here. This is the bottom half of it, this is the top half, and we have consumption, which is spending cabala, which is the premium resource in the game. This is the bottom half, this is the top half. So if we take a look, every 60 is $1. So this 6,000 right here is $100. Then once we go to the next one, we'll see it goes all the way up to 60k, which is $1,000. Obviously, no one's spending that in a 4-day period, right? 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 days. No one's spending that in 5 days. But I think 1 or 200, depending on your spending level, could make sense. What I do is every 2 weeks for my pay period, when I get my check, I spend 100 on the recharge, which puts me at this first full page, which is pretty decent. As you see, that's $10. It's kind of funky to tell you exactly what that is. What is that? 6, 10, 17, something like that. 25, 50, and 100. So 25 is a pretty good stopping point if you don't want to spend a whole lot. This comes across twice a week. So if you just want to do 25 and 25, you're doing pretty well. That's nothing to scoff at. You are a nice little, if everyone uses crack and all that, you're a nice little minnow if you're doing that 25 twice a week, $50 a week, which will be $200 a month. About what I spend, but I do it in one shots. And I pair it with my Aptoide, which I did another video earlier kind of talking about that. Go ahead and check that out. But I don't think we should ever really talk about down here. That's just for the mega whales. They're just going to buy everything just for the sake of it. What I do think is worth talking about is this one right here, 12,000. That's 200, which they give you an extra 6,000, which is another $100 worth of cabala and some other stuff. So those are the three major stopping points that I can see on the recharge. Either 25 right here at 1,500, 6,000 because that's a full bucket of things we'll talk about in a bit, and 200 if you're trying to max some things out, you have some extra spending. Those are the 3 kind of levels I'm going to be talking about here. Anything else is just extra. Whatever you want to do is what you want to do. And the consumption adds up pretty similarly. So what's nice is with the recharge, they give you a bunch of extra cabala, as you see up here at the left side. So even if you only spend that 25, let's say you just get that 25 cabala, you are getting 1600, which is more than that 15. You're getting 50 instead of that 25, which is why these are so good. So you could actually go to that 3000 even though you only spent 1500 worth of cabala. So this is a good part right here. 3000 for what we talked about. People spending recharging 6000 could do 12, but as you see, 15 is the only one here. 10 is really good because you get this 100, and then 12,000, which is the $200. That'll be 24. You can either stop at the 20,000, or maybe if you have a little bit left over from other stuff, you can hit the 25. Those are the three things. Now we know the amount that we're doing, and we know what we get for spending it. Now, where do we recharge? We're going to talk about the offers, and then we're going to talk about the events. The offers are us actually spending money to get that recharge, and then now that we get that cabala from recharging, we will then talk about the events, which is where we will spend the cabala. Best packs. So this one for Fire Sword Bless. Everything we're talking about right now is going to be first one-time only purchases. You get the top half for free, and then you can buy the bottom half for sapphires, which is not paid. You can wait to do it. The only one I don't think is really worth it is the 180 right here on the right. Everything else is pretty good, gives you stuff that's fine, and you can farm sapphires a lot easier with my other guides. Flower Fairy Link Gift right here. Link Gift. This is for summoning mythic fairies for SSRs. As you summon them, as you see, 7, 10, and then 10 is the max. As soon as you summon a 10th, even if they're copies of the same one, as soon as you've summoned 10, you can now get everything. This 100, there's a couple of these that are exactly the same for 100. Not worth it. These actually used to be really, really good value, because as you see, 100 would be 6,000 cabala. So you get the 12,000 right there, which would be even, and then you'll get 4 million gold and some upgrade stuff. Now, with selection packs that we'll talk about in a bit, this is actual dog water. So this entire page, ignore it. Adventure Assistance Pack. This one is a very interesting one. This is for hitting CP. What is that? 120k, level 80 with a fairy, and the first Gachapon coming around. Everything here is fine for the cabala. I would suggest every time that you do top up, try to snag one of these as you go. The only one I would not get would be this level 81 right here. I do not think a random Gen 1 SSR Fairy is worth 800, even if you include the 1 million gold. I don't think it's worth the 800. If you just want to get it done, go ahead and do it. I think the best one on this entire page is the Gachapon one. 500 is monstrous, and 3,000 is monstrous for the 1,000. Now we have the two ones that are the most recent ones. The Fantasy Beast one, and then we'll talk about the Wind Spirit one, which is super recent. Really, it comes down to there's the smaller dollar amounts, 5, whatever, all the way up to 40, 55, and then several of the 100s. I think everything up to the $40 one is totally fine. All of them are good. All the way up here, the really early one, I think it's 5 or 10, where you get a red selector book. Perfect. I think that is totally fine to go for. I think the 55 one here is whatever, you can skip it, and the 100s are pretty dog water in my opinion. The only person I would suggest to go for these are if you're a bigger whale and you're early on into the game and you haven't hit level 4 of monsters yet, and you just want to get this cool, several summons here and some red selection books. But I think everything before the 40 is really, really good. Everything above, pretty bad. Then Wind Spirit Upgrade Gift. This one is hard to place a thing on. Because Wind Spirit is free, you get them over time every day. The top half is really, really nice. You get some mount spin tickets, which we will talk about the amount you need for each one. You get some horseshoes, which is nice. Upgrade stuff. And then a large amount of them for the bottom ones. I actually don't think any of these are really worth it. I think it's fine to wait and get it over time. If you're a bigger spender, whatever. Now, this top-up page, it refreshes every month. It doesn't say it anywhere, but the first of the month, this entirely refreshes. Everything up to the $20 mark is decent for the value. For flat cabala, it's really, really good. But as we'll talk about later, there's something else that's better for dollars spent. If you want to do these, that's totally fine. That's just some extra spending money. The 50 and the 100, I would kind of skip them unless you have a reason that you need, 12,000 cabala. These are kind of no-brainers. As you see here, you get 300 crystals instantly and 1,800 over 30 days, as well as, where's it at? A month, exclusive avatar frame, 30 days special effect appearance, and elemental link freely once a day. This will be really good over time. You need to do it 200 times, and then you can select up to Gen 3 fairies. The first generation, second generation, third generation of fairies. Second or third generation, you can pick what you want. And then you get a free summon every day. More than worth the 5. And the $3 one, really the only reason people want this one right here is the Gather All at Home. Everything else is just gravy, but Gather All at Home is a nice feature. So 5, 3 is nice. Of note, the Star Guard is actually better in JP and KR, Japan and Korea, because they also get 2 arena tickets per day as well with the Star Guard. Privilege Pack. This is one of the first spends you should ever do if you're going to spend. $5 once ever. You get more than $5 worth of stuff immediately. And then every day for doing your daily events, you will get 2 extra summons a day. Just period, the end. You'll never have to top up again. And it also unlocks the Privilege Pack part of the shop. And the Privilege one, you can do 10 Sapphire for 100 Elemental Seeds, which is 2/3 of a summon. So every 3 days you get 2 summons for 30 Sapphire, which is a ridiculously good price. Then we have Bond Gift. This happens generally once a month. $5 gets you everything in the thing. It gives you everything you need for 5. For 13, it lets you get everything faster. That's the level 10. And they try to trick you here saying, hey, you get all of this. You get the same things. But what you get extra is right here. You get a Gen 1 or Gen 2 fairy. You get a icon, a bubble, which is where you type, and that's what it looks like, and a dancing around you effect. If you don't care about those, like me, then $5 generally once a month is really, really good. This one is also relatively new. The 15 over here, ignore it, never going to be good. This is weekly. So 5 to 7 is really good. This gives you Cabala per day. This gives you summons per day. That's 7 a week, 7, 14, 28 a month for these two. Some bigger spenders like to get this one. The idea behind getting this one, which is $40 a month, let's not just say, hey, $10, this is once a week. So you have to decide that. The idea behind bigger spenders getting this, and it is a good idea. The idea here is every monthly event, there's generally good home stuff, as well as some 10x cards in the Sapphire shop. And your regular Sapphire generation is not going to be enough to get everything. But if you have this Sapphire card right here and the Star Guard, and then you're doing your dailies every day, you're going to have more than enough to get everything from the monthly shop. Unless there's several 6,000 ones, which that's only 2 or 3 times a year. Alright. I know it feels like a lot of eyes glazing over. We have a couple more here to talk about, and then we'll get into the fun part, which is, now that we have everything, where do we spend it? Daily Limited Pack. Only thing that's really going to be worth here is the $1 pack. If you have the money, $1 a day, which is $28 a month, you get chances at Sakura. Everything in here is good. It is a good pack, but it's up to you if you want to do it. I get it like once a week. I get it. It's fine. On this side right here, early on a server only, getting the super valued Flower Fairy box is really good. $3, you get 10 Anathria. You need 60, so 6 purchases of this. 6 times 3, $18 for a copy of Anathria. And actually, these are really nice to have. These allow you to convert from one fairy to another shards, so you can focus on one type very early on. This is good for big spenders early on to get their fire team up and running. You can make the argument about the Candok one, but it doesn't matter. Then we have the weekly packs. And these are the only ones here to really talk about. If you want to change your name, it's $3. This is actually a pack that I used as a crutch a little bit back when I was a bigger spender. This is for guaranteed gold wills, which is very, very nice, especially before you're 150 and you can start getting them from events. You can get this $10, so twice, $10 a week, and then you're getting 2 summons as well and $5 worth of Cabala. It counts towards all the events, blah blah blah. This is a nice crutch if you want to get some golds pretty early on. This is a mega whale pack. I don't suggest it at all. And this Thunder Roar pack, I did it early on my first account. When Thunder Roar first came out, I got it once. And it is a lot early on, but as you go, it's not really worth it. Other ones in the weekly pack, nothing else is really worth mentioning besides the Sakura one right here. It used to be very, very good because she only came out around like once. Now she's pretty frequent, but if you're on an early server, you can snag one of these and get your holy team ready very early on, because it's scripted on day 3 that you'll have a Twin Lotus banner. So you'll have 2, which is level 2 Holy Echo on day 3. Very, very good. Then the monthly one. Only one that's good, and is actually a crazy good one, is this one right here. That gives you the gold gachapon tickets, as well as 20 summons for 15. This is the most cracked pack in the whole thing, and you can get it 5 times a month. Then we have a few more one-time only. Level investment, which gives you the Sapphire for free. It's $10 to get all the Cabala there. Really, really good. Elemental Seed 1, same thing. Gives you 10x summon for each one. These are definitely always going to be worth it. And Flower Fairy Investment Fund, 16. You get everything once you get one fairy at 11 stars, which would be one red star. This is very good. It also gives you the conversion ones. This is super good early on. The first couple are Gen 1 only, but most of them, as you see right here, up to here, Gen 1 only. And then these two, you'll see they're different, are Gen 2, as you'll see, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 2 fairy. It allows you to set up your main element very, very early on an account. Alright, last thing to talk about for purchases is whenever these battle passes come across, they're also really, really good. It's not showing the price here because this is over on a different server, but it's generally 10 or 15 depending on what they want to do with it. For a character, it's generally level up the character and have a couple copies of her. And then the mount one is for days and then for getting the mount. And this is really, really good. Also, the horseshoes allow you to upgrade them. Very, very good. Now, as far as events, this event right here, depending on the one that comes across, I do the weekly event, but in general, you're going to be going after whatever the big piece is. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to max this out. You're getting a bunch of extra summons. On the random bar, there's a lot of yellow and red upgrade stuff, which is amazing. You're always going to need plenty of those. And I mean, you're not getting a ton of extra summons here, but it's nice to have it extra. And 400 is going to be 8,000 Cabala. So that is a good idea of where you would be spending your Cabala on events like this. Now, this is one that I get a question about all the time. This is Miro Balloon. Generally, what you're trying to do, there's really, really good things in here on the first and second prize spot, and the third and fourth are stuff you could do with or without. And crystals are a bane of everyone's existence. You definitely want them. 16 right here at 5 is a full clear of the board. You can spin Cabala to refresh it and do it again for 32, but as you see, you only get 3 more rewards. It's bigger numbers, but 5 rewards for a full clear is very good. And to do a full clear is 644 coins. You can get 5 per day during the event. That generally lasts 3 or 4 days. And then you can save them for the next one. You can save. So this is technically free to play, but it will take a long time. Or 12,880 Cabala for the whole thing. You can obviously do a mix and match to do it. Rolling ball, skip. The only time this was ever worth it to do was when they had Fairy Tale. They had 2 cards in here, and the big reason not to do it is look at the rates. 96.8% to get these, 90% to get the purple, and then 3.2% to get what you actually need to get anything of note. Definitely a skip. Now for mounts, you have ones like this that give you stats. It says max level, so you got to level up with these lollipops that are in the wheel to summon it. And then you have ones like this that say privilege. This is the one you want to go for. I have a video talking about which privileges to go for first. Once you're done with all your privileges, then you can go for stat ones. And then these are really good to go after if there's a battle pass, as I talked about before. Which would be 734 mount tickets to guarantee the full thing. This event looks very similar to that first one I showed you. Skip. There's almost never anything really of note here. Sometimes it's a mount. If you really want the mount, go for it. But there's no like bonuses. There's nothing. You're really trying to double and triple dip into everything you do. And this just doesn't do that. Now, we're talking about some big numbers, right? Like, we're talking about this is 12,000, which is $200 worth of cabala. How am I going to get that if I'm only spending 100 every 2 weeks, like I do? That is going to be these events right here. This is bonus cabala. The one that everyone knows the most is bull market. And that is during the event, you can spend any amount up to 18,000, which would be 300 USD. And then over the course of these days, you will get that same amount rebated to you. And as you see, this ends on the 9th. If let's say you bought on the 8th, everything that's left to come to you will be in the mail. The tree is the bull market is the best. This is second best. You already need 5,000 cabala to get the most out of this. I think it's like 5,200 or something. But you need this coin, which costs 2 USD, so it's almost nothing. And then you spend cabala, and then you get more guaranteed. But this is all 388s, but as you go up, there's a wider range. You get anywhere from 4,400 and some change to 6,000 extra cabala from doing this for 2 USD. And then the one that's technically the worst, but is still nice to have, is whenever you spend any amount, even $1, you'll have a thing that pops up right where this is. You click it, it does a roll like a lottery, and then you have a 40% chance to get 30% extra crystals, 30% chance to get 60% extra, and 30% to get 100%, so double what you did. And it maxes at whatever that bonus is, maxes out at 200 USD worth. Alright, we have a couple other things to talk about. Once you start day 1, you get this pack right here. Make sure you can see that. $1 gets you everything. $5 gets you an extra 600, which is $5, and a Miru cap. This is a pretty new thing. But as far as the $1, definitely great. You're really getting it for the day 2 fox, which allows you to fish, which is the most important gathering thing. With no issues immediately, but you have to wait till day 2. This is very, very much worth the 1 or the 5, your choice, but the $1 definitely. Now, this one pops up if you start on a server anywhere between day 2 and day 7 on a server. So you're a day behind, and this is a catch-up offer for $10. This will put you at the same level range as everyone else, give you some summons and stuff, which is hard to come by, and then these tickets are really, really good. Some people actually prefer to start on a day 2 to get this big, big boost. Then we have 2 offers to talk about. 2 types of offers to talk about. I thought there was 3. Okay, so whenever you upgrade your wind spirit, this is an offer that pops up. Both are 55. One is for upgrades to your mounts, and one is to try to take the wind spirit even higher. I think these are skips. This is definitely worth the 55 if you want to spend an extra 55. Then every time you use these cores, there's a chance for it to fail to upgrade you from, let's say, T1 to T2. Every time you do that, they throw this $55 pack in your face, which is worth the money, but I don't, like I said, I prefer to just wait on this. Then you'll see these stones pop up in the shop. I think these were very important to talk about. Bond Dragon Stone, Bond Stone, and Armor Bond Stone. These three are only for the first two collaborations. This Bond Stone right here, there's also a red one that's for Diablo. This is for Milim and Rimuru. This Bond Stone, Armor Bond Stone, is for Urza. And this Dragon Bond Stone is for Natsu and Wendy. They do not give you that fairy, but you can use them in place of a copy to upgrade them. And we already know, now confirmed, they are not coming back this year. Obviously, they can happen in the future, but not likely at this point. So if you already have them, these are fine to upgrade them, but please don't buy them if you don't already have them. Last thing to talk about is over here, if we get out of here, the selection packs. Now, Global has the best ones. And that is because, as you see right here, the $5 ones, 10 times, that's $50. 10, 100 to do the full thing. These are the two that I generally suggest going for. When I do my 100 every 2 weeks, I fully buy out the selection pack 2. And that is my $100. The second, third, and fourth spot right here for the summons and these traces are enough on its own. You also get the 600, which is $10 worth of Cabala crystal. And this first slot is up to you, whatever you want to put in there. Same thing up here. 1, 2, 3. And then the other 2 slots are up to your discretion. And you'll see you get less for doing the $20 one. You get the same conversion here, but you don't get that first slot. And I think even as a whale, you want to double dip your money. So these are very, very good. Get them as you see fit. And as I said earlier today, I suggest waiting on the sales days for Aptoide. Right now, I get 17% extra back. So if I spend 100, I get $17 of credit during these events. So like on the 16th or 26th of this month, I will be getting 22%. So when I spend my 100, I get $22 in-game credit. So I'm really spending 122 every 2 weeks. Just very, very nice. That was a long video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Any questions? Till next time, guys.